Welcome to today's video, good people. Today, we're going to refresh our memories about the state's case of exactly what Diddy stands to lose, starting with the money and the property. After all this testimony that's come out, we've heard from ex-assistants, ex-girlfriends. We've even heard from the adult entertainers. The man's basically a billionaire. He has a lot of money and a lot of property, and he has a business. And he has children. So the language is very, very particular in how they will go after his assets, what makes his assets vulnerable to seizure, to forfeiture. So we're going to read that, and then we're going to go back to the top of the indictment, exactly what they're alleging in this language, the details, and ask ourselves, is the prosecution, are they ticking the boxes for this case? Are they establishing RICO? The indictment reads, the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, United States of America, versus Sean Combs, also known as Puff Daddy, also known as P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, also known as P. D, also known as Love. Sean Combs, the defendant, operated his business headquarters at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprise, and Combs Global, collectively the Combs Business. Corporate entities in the Combs business included, amongst other things, record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcoholic spirits business, a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. I'm going to jump ahead to what Diddy stands to lose because it's some very detailed language. This would be his business, people. It's paragraph 18 and title 18, United States Code sections 2421A and 2. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 1 of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18, United States Code, Section 1963, any and all interests the defendant acquired or maintained in violation of Title 18. United States Code, Section 1962, any and all interest in securities of, claims against, and property or contractual rights of any kind affording a source of influence over the enterprise named and described herein, which the defendant established, operated, controlled, conducted, and participated in the conduct of in violation of Title 18. So United States Code Section 1962, in any and all property constituting and derived from proceeds obtained directly and indirectly said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense. Paragraph 19. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 2 of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18, United States Code, Section 1594, any and all property, real and personal, involved in, used or intended to be used to commit or to facilitate the commission of said offense in any and all property traceable to such property, any and all property, real and personal, constituting or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of property involved in said offense and proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense. Paragraph 20, we're almost done. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 3 of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, shall forfeit to the United States pursuant Title 18, United States Code, Section 2428, any and all property, real and personal, constituted or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of said offense, and any and all property, real or personal, that was used or intended to be used to commit or facilitate the commission of said offense, and 2, Title 18, United States Code, Section 981A, 1C, and Title 28, United States Code, Section 2461, any and all property, real and personal, that constitutes or is derived from proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense. Substitute assets provision. Last paragraph, 21. If any of the above described forfeitable property as a result of any act of omission of the defendant, A, cannot be located upon exercise of due diligence, B, has been transferred or sold to or deposited to with a third person, C, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, D, has been substantially diminished in value, or E, has been commingled with other property which cannot be subdivided without difficulty. It is the intent of the United States, pursuant to Title 18, United States Code, Section 1963M, Title 21, United States Code, Section 853P, and Title 28, United States Code, Section 2461C, to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendant up to the value of the above forfeitable property. A lot of numbers, but it all amounts to losing everything. Losing everything that has to do with Bad Boy, any music company, buildings, assets. I'm sure that includes intellectual property. They seem to be very, very thorough. It's a lot of numbers, it's a lot of information, but it's just everything seems to be swept up in there. It doesn't seem to be even any wiggle room for his children from what I'm reading. If someone sees some financial loophole, please let me know. But that is just, it seems so rock solid, ironclad. So let's get to what they have to prove to take all of this from Sean Diddy Combs. So let's go to the top of this indictment. I'm not going to put any bias or opinion in this. I'm just going to read it. From the top, United States District Court, Southern District of New York, United States of America, versus Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, also known as P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, also known as PD, also known as Love, defendant. Count 1, racketeering conspiracy. The grand jury charges. Overview. Paragraph 1. For decades, Sean Combs, also known as Puff Daddy, also known as P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, also known as PD, also known as Love, the defendant, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Paragraph 2. Sean Combs, the defendant, operated his business headquarters at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprise, and Combs Global, collectively the Combs Business. Corporate entities in the Combs business included, amongst other things, record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcoholic spirits business, a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. 3. At all times relevant in this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse towards women and other individuals. This abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence. Physical abuse by Sean Combs, the defendant, was recurrent and widely known. On numerous occasions from at least in or about 2009 and continuing for years, Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. These assaults were at times witnessed by others and included one instance at a Los Angeles hotel in or about March 16th, which was captured on video and later publicly reported, where Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave. When a member of the hotel security staff intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence. Combs' violence was also not limited to these women. It extended to his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others. 5. Sean Combs, the defendant, used the Combs business, including certain employees, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and commercial sex. Those employees, including security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and high-ranking supervisors and other close associates, acted as Combs' intermediaries, and their conduct was facilitated and assisted by Combs' control of the Combs business. The Combs enterprise. 6. From at least in or about 2008 through on or about the date of the filing of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, and others known and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization, the Combs Enterprise, or the Enterprise. Members and associates of the Combs Enterprise engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other activities, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. 7. The Combs Enterprise, including its leadership, its members, and its associates, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18, United States Code Section 1961-4, that is, a group of individuals associated, in fact, although not a legal entity. The Combs Enterprise consisted of 1. Sean Combs, the defendant, 2. Entities within the Combs business, including but not limited to Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global. 3. Individuals employed by and associated with the Combs business, and 4. Others known and unknown. 8. The Combs Enterprise constituted an ongoing organization whose members function as a continuing unit of a common purpose of achieving the objectives of the Combs Enterprise. The Combs Enterprise was engaged in, and its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. The Combs Enterprise operated in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. 9. At all times relevant to this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, was the leader of the Combs Enterprise. 10. Sean Combs, the defendant, and others known and unknown participated in unlawful and other activities related to the conduct of the Combs Enterprise's affairs. These individuals included certain Combs business employees, such as members of Combs, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and high-ranking supervisors, as well as other close associates of Combs. I'll drop a part 2 for the other half. We have 21 paragraphs. Do you think the prosecution has made its case in relation to any of these paragraphs I've read just far? It's a lot. A lot of numbers. And you can check out my other videos where I am pointing out some things that I've observed. So let me know what y'all think, and like, share, and subscribe. Till I see you the next time. Peace.